Welcome to Modern Musings, conversations with the maiden, mother, and crone, where we look at ourselves and the world through the lens of the 21st century. Hello and welcome back. I'm your hostess, Kristen, and I'm here with only one co-host this week.
I'm all by myself.
Yeah, it's me and Mom, so it's me, Kristen Blakely, and Cindy Murray.
Yes.
Amber is doing all the things a teacher can possibly do in the summertime while school is out.
And trying to finish up her grad school stuff too.
Yeah.
So
she's busy. So we were like, we have to do it. We can't. We just have to keep going. She was like, you're good. So this week we're actually just kind of stemming from last week, and remind everyone, what was that book Amber talked about last week?
that was Tiny Habits.
Tiny Habits.
By B.J. Fogg.
Yes. And I believe Amber just barely scratched the surface.
Yeah, she got
on
to
the book.
chapter 2, I think.
Yes.
So
And today I'm going to review Atomic Habits, which I really think is essentially the same concept.
A lot of the things we talk about.
Similar concept. This one actually cropped up on my Audible audiobooks. It was recommended after I had used one of my Audible credits for New Earth from Eckhart Tolle. Then it had cropped up, and I was actually like kind of pumped for another like self-help book. So I actually listened to this one when I was at the gym, and it was kind of fun because it was my new gym membership had just started, and I was trying to get into the routine of going to the gym. And as you all know, that is like fitness routine. Trying
it's
to get
a hard
that.
one
It is
to
a
get
hard
it
one
to make it a
in.
habit.
Yeah.
It is.
And so I was like, this is great. And I have used this principle ever since at work. My job as a leader requires, me to coach people to improve their process at work. And our role is very, even though it's a call center role, the calls aren't coming to us. We're making the calls. So my agents are driving in and really honing in on their efficiency and just self-motivation. And so today we're going to explore Atomic Habits by James Clear. And I'm going to just really go over the book today in this one episode because I think it touches on a lot of the things that Tiny Habits that Amber was introducing. And I don't really think that it needs multiple episodes.
Well,
it's
not to mention
simple.
we haven't finished.
And we haven't finished her book, but I'm going to introduce
the Anatomy of an Epidemic either. We've still got one more episode of that one to go.
And so I just today wanted to introduce this topic because, again, like all of my employees, I have showed them this and they didn't need to read the book. I'm sorry, James Clear. Like, I do recommend it. Like, go listen to the book. It's definitely helpful to read the book. And if you've done any self-help books, it's kind of like introduce the topic and then back it up by why you should do it. And then introduce it a little bit more and more testimony of why you should do it. And then it's a lot of repetition because that's what gets you motivated.
Right.
So I do recommend it because getting that full experience of reading the book or listening to it gets you pumped for the idea of it. But I'm just going to break it down because it really doesn't need a lot of, it's not rocket science, right? So Atomic Habits is like Tiny Habits. And the one thing that he talks about is not just making a small habit, but how you apply the habit, when and where. So I'm going to take you through the main nuts and bolts of James Clear was like a baseball player in high school. I believe it was high school or college. And he was a really good baseball player, but he had a terrible injury that required him to get into physical therapy. And while he was getting his physical therapy, he wasn't seeing the progress that he wanted. And he was really pushing himself to progress because I think he just really thought I'm going to heal and I'm going to be back on the field. And while he was trying to get through like his physical therapy, that's when he developed his process. And now, he goes and helps other people apply the process. So again, I've been sharing this with my employees at work, and I think it's been like a fundamental. I still use it whenever I'm setting up my goals for the year, and also while I look at my routines, and whenever I get like when someone throws a stick in my spoke, like just crashes my
wrench
wagon
in your gears.
Yes, and someone crashes my wagon, and I'm like, oh, you really ruined it. I have to get back in the swing of things, and because like those little micro like catastrophic things just like throw me off my routine,
which is very common for somebody with ADHD, as we've talked about.
And so and some people, they just pick up and they go back to their routine, but somewhere in the mix I forget to like pay bills or something, and like completely forget that there's like a yard that needs to be mowed or whatever, like those kind of things happen. So this book, the first talking points that he has are talking about those small actions and how we get in our heads about who we are like as an identity, where we go, I'm not a gardener because I don't have this full growing garden, right? And so we tell ourselves, I'll be a gardener when I have this full, like, blooming garden and harvesting, right?
It's like people who say they're not an artist until they've created this because they have never created a masterpiece.
They're not really an artist.
Right.
It's kind of like that. What do they call that identity?
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, imposter syndrome. So whenever you make those little tiny steps, though, sometimes we forget to look back and think about how impactful those little tiny steps are, just planting those seeds. So we are always like so attracted to the dramatic transformations when the most meaningful change happens so slowly that you don't actually even see it. And so a lot of people miss out on that piece of the motivation that keeps them going to the final results. And like what he was missing out, James Clear was missing out, was like, he was doing the physical therapy. It was just, he was getting frustrated because he wasn't seeing like
the results
right away. And so, one of the biggest system beliefs that we have that mess us up is when we set a goal, we say things like, I'm going to lose 100 pounds, right? And that, not saying that's not a goal. It is possible. But what ends up happening is that there's so many steps that need to happen for that to happen, right?
Right.
So many variables. So you turn it into a system. Drink water, take a walk after dinner, meal plan, those kind of things, right? So he's talking about the system is like what you actually live, right? You're not living the diet or the walk. It's all of those things. That's who you are. So the identity, right, it has to come first. And so a lot of times what we do is we say, I want to garden. And we have plants and we have a backyard and we have all the tools and we say, I want to. But then we forget that you actually have to go out and do a little bit of gardening, right?
Yeah.
And we just think, I'm going to say I want a garden. I want to garden. And then we think we're going to become a gardener, right? So it's really about every action casts that vote towards that identity, right? It puts it like, you
every
either
micro
do
step that
or
you take.
don't,
right?
And that's who you are,
right?
It's what you do and what you choose to not do, right?
Right.
So, what identities are we accidentally reinforcing every day is like a really good question to ask yourself.
Oh,
like,
it is. Yeah.
even if you're not even thinking about like all the habit things, but like, who are you? Right.
Uh-huh.
And so I really liked that question. Now, when you ask that question, right, and you start thinking about, okay, here we go. I'm going to lose 100 pounds or I'm going to be a gardener, right?
Right.
Whichever. Well, let's stick with the gardener one because that's kind of like what's the motif in my life right now. So, you know, how can I make starting easier? How can I do more, right? Because obviously I want to cast more votes towards
Being a
that
gardener.
identity,
Yeah,
right? Instead of saying like, I want it, I got to do those things, right? So it's kind of like when we do our one little word and we talk about like living that word throughout your life and everything.
That word.
And you
yes.
already are. You just have to cast those votes for it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or I guess make the votes count for you for that.
Right. Or just let it come out. Right.
Yeah.
Stop hindering yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, some examples are like, you know, reading one more page if it's, you know, about a book or being, you know, studying something. Lots of different things, you know, just researching more about a different plant or spending a little bit more time out there pulling the weeds.
Right.
Those kind of things.
Okay.
Okay. So starting is usually the hardest part, right?
Always.
Always. So you got to ask yourself this question. How much of our procrastination is actually resistance to the size of the task?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Like your garage.
Lot.
Go to your garage. I was like thinking about your garage.
Oh, yeah. My garage is my, you know, the never ending problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is. It's very overwhelming. And I look at it and instead of seeing the smaller tasks that fall in, and you know, we've talked about this on, you know, when we've talked about SMART goals, we've talked about this multiple times.
Yeah.
You have to ignore the big picture when you're, I mean, you have the big picture, but you have to back out and look at all of the little steps that it takes, kind of like
realistic. Is that
realistic? Yeah. Well, it's realistic. And, you know, it's like what Amber was talking about last week. It's those tiny steps. First, you have to do this, you know, the first thing you got to do is set aside some time to work in the garage. If you don't set aside the time to go clean out the garage, it's never going to happen.
That's that vote casting.
yeah,
That's your your internal vote is saying like, I'm not going to vote on that today.
Not today.
Yeah.
But that's what, you know, like Amber was talking about with the tiny habits. All of those little steps are little tiny things. And, you know, you have to start with one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do the next one, you know, whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, when I tackled my garage, because I was also having that struggle, like it seemed like every time I went outside to the garage, I was like just moving stuff around because it was like 15 different problems in one room.
Right. And you have to focus on
one problem.
One.
Yeah. And once I did that and I just put that boundary there, then it was almost like everything else just started happening because then I got that like quick win. That little victory, and then I was like, oh, now I can do this, you know, and I wasn't hindered, but I also kept that boundary of just stay in this corner and do this one thing. Like I did the camping stuff because I know I wasn't going to go back and dig around in the camping stuff anytime soon, so I was like, let me just get the camping stuff all on one shelf. You know, I set the boundary of one shelf. That's all you get. And then I moved all the stuff to the shelf. I didn't try to like organize every bin or anything. I just made the space, and then it was like, oh wow, this opened up
a whole lot more room. Yeah.
Yeah. And I always think about your garage because it's like clear that you have these little like pile spaces.
I have
dedicated for like, oh, this is the craft stuff, and this is my grandmother's stuff, and that's clearly like camping stuff over there, and that's the wood pile, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we get to my favorite part. Okay, so I was really telling you there's one fundamental piece. Like all of that stuff is stuff we already know. Like we've talked about it in like so many different avenues of
It's
goal
good to
setting.
talk about it multiple times though,
It
because
really is.
sometimes when you
hit
talk
it
about
a
it,
different way, right?
yeah, you hit it a different way.
Well,
Exactly.
this is where this book hit a different way because every time I tried to change a behavior, and remember, habits are behaviors that happen over and over and over again until they turn into that habit, right?
Right. And you
It's
reinforce
choosing
them by doing them over and over and over again.
over and over again. And the more you do them, the more habitual they are, the harder they are to undo, right? And remember, they can be positive and negative.
Right.
And I think Amber had touched on starting habits and breaking habits. And I was really intrigued with the breaking of the habit part, as I think we talked about that with like quitting smoking and, the part that I picked up from this book was the building habits.
Right.
But then I saw, we could reverse engineer the negative habits because there are so many ways that we have negative habits because we do this one thing.
Right.
Okay. So the one thing, like this
The
is
one
like, you don't have to read the book because I'm about to tell you, but I want you to check out the book for sure. It's called Habit Stacking.
Which we've also mentioned.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it before. Totally. Because
Yeah.
I'm totally into it. Once it dawned on me, I was like, oh, this is how you make something a habit. A habit always comes with something else attached to it. It's like a magnet. And a lot of times it's a reward response and we go, ooh, I like that, so I'm going to do it again. But oftentimes it's also because it's paired with something that you're already doing. And that's how it becomes a habit. Like, smoking when you get in the car. That's a habit stacked right there.
Right.
As soon as
Yeah.
you turn the engine on, or even before that, you already got your cigarette in your mouth.
Because it's prompting you.
Yeah.
Like from the tiny habits.
Yeah.
Yeah. And pain avoidance, like avoiding things, is also a habit stacking thing because you're avoiding and you're doing something else instead, and you're stacking those two things together to avoid doing whatever
Something
it is.
else. Yeah. So it's a simple formula. You attach new habits to things you already do. So if you are trying to lose 100 pounds, right? You have to attach those other things that we talked about, all those variables that make lose 100 pounds happen. You can't just go in and I'm going to drink more water and eat healthier food and make these choices and exercise and do all these things, right? You can, but the people who are really succeeding at it are stacking those healthy habits with other things they're already doing so that they form new healthy pathways. All right, so the formula is after I blank, I will blank. So instead of just saying like I'm going to drink more water, it's not attached to anything, so there's nothing holding you
Accountable
to it or measurable. Like, yeah, you could measure it, but at the end of the day, you're just looking at how many glasses of water did you drink. But if you stack it with something, right? Then, okay, so you could say, oh, well, I could drink a glass of water in the morning, and then I could have a second one before lunch, and then one at lunch, and then, right? So then by the end of the day, you've got like your 8 glasses before bed. Okay, but the best way to do it is before my cup of coffee, I will drink a glass of water.
Right.
And after I feed the dogs dinner, I'll make a glass of water. And after I brush my teeth, I'll drink a glass of water, right? It's all of these different places where you're already doing something.
Right. And you do it so that they're like, it's easy to move from one into the other, right? So
Yes. And that's really the key there is, so that's the next thing is environment matters, right? So look at what habits are already so automatic that they could become anchors for new growth.
Right.
So first look at where are the systems in your life that are working.
Right.
Okay? And when I say systems, I don't mean like you know, your TV system, right?
Or your air conditioner or whatever.
Right. I mean, like you already have a methodology to do
a morning
something.
routine. Like I get up and I
System.
come make my coffee in the morning. So
Yeah.
that already, I don't even have to think about it.
Right.
It just happens.
And if you always go to work every day, never fail, habit stack something with work.
Right.
That's associated
The first
with
thing
that.
when I get to work, I'm going to drink a glass of water.
Yes, because at least 5 days of the week, you're not going to miss that goal because you're going to associate it with swiping your badge to walk in the building or something.
right.
But honestly, that one's a little vague because it has to be something more specific than that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So,
Okay.
like, right when you swipe your punch card to clock in, you're going to go get a cup of water out of the
Oh.
water dispenser.
Okay.
That's more specific because they're,
Right.
it's somewhere close by, right?
Right.
So, think about what habits are already so automatic. And you can do this for any habit, right? You just go down through the things like that you never fail to do this at this same time every day. Or, like some people struggle to remember to take their medicine.
That's me. I do.
And this is where I struggled because I kept moving my pill bottles like to 1,000 different places and I kept forgetting it. And right now I'm pretty much a Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday I cross my fingers that I remember. And so here's how I did that. So I put my pill bottle on my desk at work.
Oh,
Okay. And then I always have some of my medication at work.
Right.
Always. Now, then I was like, well, I'm still not taking it on Saturday and Sunday. So then I made accommodations for myself because you can't be all or nothing, right? So do the system, figure out what works, and then tinker with it. It doesn't have to
Right.
be like do or die, like black or
Right.
white. Like try it out. It's not that you're not a gardener anymore because one plant withered, right?
Right.
Or you forgot to water one time, so now you're not a gardener, right? Go and keep doing it and tinker with the system. So then I started splitting up my prescription,
I do
half
that.
and half,
Yeah.
and I have 2 different places where my prescription is at. So it does not fail me to take my medicine.
Right.
And that has worked so successfully for me now that like I don't even really think about it anymore. I just reach for it.
Well, I do something similar with my evening medication. So I have to take medications twice a day. One of my medications is a twice a day, so I split it into 2 pill bottles. One's with the mornings, one with the evenings, and then and what I do is I as I get ready for bed, I get all my pills together, and I always take it. I have a little routine. Like I did, like I said, I just stacked it with my regular routine. So I do Duolingo. I do my Duolingo, and as soon as I'm done with my Duolingo, I take my bedtime meds before I do my reading or my words with friends.
Oh, and that's nice. You do it before so you don't fall asleep and forget.
And forget it. So that's the thing that I do. It's between the Duolingo and my reading, and it's there every time. And it may be a different time of night every night, but I take it within a couple of hours of when it should be taken. So the one I struggle with is my mornings, and that's because I don't eat in the morning, and they have to be taken with food. Or some of them do. And so it really bothers me. I can't eat first thing in the morning. And I've been struggling to get a very standardized routine with my morning because I have to keep changing my morning routine for various reasons. And that's where I've struggled. So I'm trying to find a way to stack that morning meds with something so that I can make sure that happens in a timely manner, because what happens is I wait until I'm hungry to eat. It may be late in the afternoon. So yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
that
almost
doesn't
like
work.
you have to bust out like a protein shake or something.
Yeah.
and
Well, I
just-
can't even just do a shake. It's not solid enough. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's got to be something, a little protein and a little carb to hold it. So, yeah.
That one's tough.
It is tough. It's
Honestly,
really tough.
mornings are the hardest for me to get those
They
good
are. They
routines.
are. But I mean, I had a routine going for a while, but it's just like I say, I sometimes miss it because I don't eat.
Someone tipped your wagon over.
They did. They did.
So, environment, right? So the environment matters more. So it's kind of like what we talked about, like where was that pill bottle
Right.
stashed?
Yeah.
You know, and then that's what helps make that habit work. And one of the ones that I was struggling with for a while was drinking water.
Yeah.
Just drinking, because I would make my coffee. Girl, I'm not gonna forget my coffee, right? I'm gonna have my coffee. So I realized, like, I am not gonna drink water unless there's a glass already made. I'm not gonna
Right.
think about it until I'm like dying of thirst. And so
And
I
if you're
just
dying of thirst, you're already dehydrated.
you are way dehydrated. So I started just making my glass and just having it.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes though I found myself not getting it like in the morning. And this was something that really, I think I picked this up from Scott because he always fills his water right before bed. And I've never really been one to drink because I don't wake up in the middle of the night like I'm thirsty.
I do.
So I really don't even think about it. So I never really had a drink at nighttime. And now I do like have a few sips before bed because now I've been making a glass of ice water before bed. And thanks to Amber, I love these like stainless steel cups that don't melt
Oh right.
the ice. And when I wake up in the morning, I have this ice cold water.
And it's already there, waiting for you.
made. And that's literally one of the first things I do when I wake up now is have water. And I'm drinking water before I even get my coffee now. And I'm just like, I can't believe like that habit formed accidentally from making my water at nighttime.
Right.
Because I was missing to make the water in the morning. I wasn't doing it every day because
But
I
you
was in a
could very
hurry.
easily, while your coffee's brewing,
Just
start
make
your
a glass
coffee,
of
turn
water.
around,
I know
make
I
your glass
really
of water.
could, but what ends up happening is I'm always rushing because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
me. I'm the morning rushing person because I don't give myself enough grace and space for everything I need to do.
Right.
And then I just hit the snooze button a million times. So then I go in there and I make my coffee really fast. I literally put my socks in my pocket and I put my socks on when I sit down at my desk.
Oh my gosh.
I know I'm the worst. I'm the worst. But you know, while my computer's firing up, I put lotion on my feet and I put my socks on. It's a really
She
good
does work
routine.
from home, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good routine. So I feel like these weird new like habits have been stacking from like other habits just naturally now.
Yeah.
And I've been enjoying that. So you know, here's some good habits that are visible. You know, if you're trying to read more, put your book on the table.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Quit leaving
Mine is
it in
there.
a bag. Just
Yeah.
pull it out. You are not going to read it while it's in the bag. Have your water always on your desk, right? Just keep filling it. If your ice melts, then just go add some more ice, you know, and then just keep drinking the water. That's
Right.
what I do,
Right.
you know, and then after like a day, I'm like, it's time for a new cup.
Yeah.
So that's if my ice melts because I forgot to drink it, I just keep filling it. You know, if your goal is to write in your journal, where is your journal? Is your journal like on a bookshelf tucked away, or do you have it somewhere where you're actually going to write? So think about where you want to do the habit, how you want to stack it, what it's going to be stacked with. You know, two things to think about is, you know, for like unwanted habits, making them harder. So I think Amber had touched on that.
Yes.
You know, removing the ability to do the habit. So move the distraction, you know, add friction so that it's harder for you. Like for
Don't
me,
buy the Cheetos or whatever.
yeah, don't
or-
buy them. Don't bring them in your house.
Yeah.
Right. And then you won't eat them. Sorry for everybody else. Right. That they don't get to eat Cheetos too.
They can go buy their own Cheetos
Exactly.
and store them somewhere where you
It-
can't see them.
Yeah. And if they want them, they should put them in their room or something where you don't have access
Or
to
eat them somewhere away from you.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and put those barriers down. Don't be afraid. Like if people give you crap for it, then they do not have your interests at heart.
No, they don't. Yeah.
So, design beats discipline more often than we admit. So,
We don't really have a lot of self-discipline. I mean, we tell ourselves, we delude ourselves that we do, but really people who have self-discipline, as we call it, are the people who put those things away. They built those boundaries.
it just comes natural to them
To do that.
To do that, yeah. So this one is a really interesting question. I'm just going to throw it out there. So, if a stranger walked through your house, what habits would they assume you're trying to build? Not that I'm, trying to do things to like impress people or anything like that, but I really liked that question because a stranger who walks into your house and sees a journal out on the table will go, "Oh, you're right."
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Or, "Oh, you're reading a book right now." Right?
Yeah.
Or, "Oh, I see those little weights in your tennis shoes.
Do you go to the gym?
You must
or
be
do you work out?"
exercising
Yeah.
or something." You know, there's those little things that are part of that identity. And yeah, we're not doing those things to make other people think that we're doing the goal, but it's just a way for you to step out of like what you see, because sometimes you don't see like what really what I'm trying to say is like we get like so mindset on this has to be this way, and oh no, this is always where I do this and always where I do that, and I don't do that. Like, I don't want a pen and paper out on the table because it looks cluttered. Well, you are going to have a harder time getting that habit built by making it harder for yourself by setting this rule up that's not helping you.
Right.
So again, that question isn't there for you to like try to make your house look like you're a gardener, because that's not the point of that statement. It's just so that you can step outside of your own skin and look at this perspective differently.
Are you making it easy
Are you
for
making
yourself?
it easier for yourself to do this goal? Thank you. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. I just want to make sure that's that came across that way.
Yeah, yeah.
So the plateau of hidden growth. So whenever you are like seeing progress, that progress is already like well established.
Right.
Like, I just realized, oh, you know what? I drink so much more water now. Like, I didn't even think about my water consumption first thing in the morning before coffee until I started thinking about just making the water at nighttime, because I was, just thinking about how, oh, I actually like making my water before bed because then it's still cold in the morning. And then I was like, oh, because I'm doing that, I'm actually drinking water before I even brush my teeth. So you don't see that progress until it's already like well established.
Which is the same thing with negative habits as well. You don't realize that it's a habit until it's already a habit.
So you may be improving long before you see the results. And that goes for all kinds of things, right? Weight loss also happens like that. Like, people start noticing it like in your face and stuff like that. Or I'm trying to think of like other goals. I'm like only talking about the things that I'm doing.
I mean, one of the I will say that, like my my gym thing, I made it easy for myself to go to the gym, and I started just going to the gym whether somebody went. That was one of the hardest things for me.
That was really hard for you because you were like, "Oh, Kristen's not going, so
I'm not going to go." Yeah, but I made myself go one time, and then I made myself go another time, and then I made myself go another time. And my son actually, I stacked one of his habits with mine because I wanted him to get out too. So I got him to go with me, and we don't work out together or anything. I'm still basically going by myself, but we kind of ride share. And so that kind of stacked that habit a little. I get to stack a little quality time with my son in the car.
That's kind of like, that's the goal that got stacked with going to the gym.
It did. Yeah. But
reverse
because
psychology
of that,
on him.
but because of that, it actually, encourages me to go to the gym. And I go to the gym, even when he doesn't go with me. So, most weeks. So,
Mhm.
I mean, there's once in a while I don't, but there's almost every
Yeah,
week.
you guys have been really consistent. I think the
Very
only time y'all
consistent.
haven't gone is when we've been like sick.
Sick when one of us is sick, or when we've been out of town, or the holidays close.
That's always what messes me up. I always go like 40 days or whatever. I get so like in that system, and then I get a cold.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just knocks me off my feet and tips my wagon over.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's what always happens.
Sometimes
to
you
me.
just got to pick the wagon up and keep going. Though.
I know.
Even
and
if you're sick.
that's for me, it's like it always makes it worse because then I can't stop coughing and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
When I get that kind of sick, it's like the other kind of sicknesses, all that I don't get bothered by that. I'll still do stuff, but whenever I get that chronic cough,
Oh, yeah.
I can't because I can't even like talk without going into like wheezing and stuff. Anyways, that's a side derailment there. But so here's another fun question here. Where in your life might growth already be happening even though you can't see the evidence yet? So if you're already in the middle of habit stacking, you may have already done that. And now you can see like where you found that success with habit stacking. When you look at where you may have inadvertently, accidentally added a habit, like adding Stephen going to the gym also added that personal one-on-one time with him.
Right.
That you were missing out on that. And that was actually funny thing is that was like the ulterior motive of having him go to the gym with you so you could spend time with him, and it works perfectly.
But it built both habits to the point where they're both, well established habits now. So and I'm trying to think of some other things I've done. I changed up my morning routine this year a little bit. And I used to try to journal at bedtime. But what would happen was I would get really tired because I already do my Duolingo and I have a Words with Friends habit.
Yeah.
And I read. And what would happen would be I would just get so tired that I either didn't have time to read or I didn't have time to journal. I would fall asleep during one or the other. And so I was just like, I don't want to do that. So I moved my journaling to the morning, and I don't do it every day. It's not intended to be a daily practice, but it is like 3 times a week or so, you know, kind of thing. And I just moved it to the morning, and my journal sits on the table next to the chair where I have my morning coffee. And I just kind of stacked all my little morning routines. I have a healthcare journal that a tracker that I track all my.
Oh, so you moved that in there because you used to have it in here.
I did have it in here. Yes, I moved it in there, and I moved so that my tracker is there. My not my affirmation, my scripting journal. I don't from what is his name? I can't remember that author's name. The Savers.
Oh, the Miracle Morning.
The Miracle
Hal
Morning.
Elrod.
Yes. So, he said do a little journal and do like 3
minutes.
gratitudes, 3 things you're going to do today, and 3 gratitudes, 3 things you're going to do today, and an affirmation. So I have that journal in there.
I forgot how silly simple his is.
It was really simple, and I do that so that's part of my habit stacking. So I get up in the morning, I wash my face and all that stuff, and I come in and I make my cup of coffee. While my coffee's brewing, I make my little packet of pills. I weigh myself. And then and I do a little bit of spot cleaning in the kitchen, which is usually like, taking out the recycling or whatever. And then by then my coffee's ready, and I take my coffee to my morning chair. And then at my morning chair, I do my health trackers. I do that little Savers journal, and I do my other journaling. And some mornings I bring my laptop with me and read my emails after that, before I move to my desk and start my morning's work.
Nice.
But I built those in there, and And I also downloaded the Finch app because Kristen prodded me to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do a little Finch check-in, which is a wellness app, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
mental wellness and stuff like that, and habit building, and
Yeah, it really is because it's like the little self care things for, and I think
like
it
drink
was
water, brush your teeth,
designed
wash
for
your face.
people who were kind of stuck, uh, maybe like in that depression mode where we kind of let things go when it comes to self care, and
Right.
it, because it even has some of like the daily, um, what people are calling adulting now, but like the just brush your teeth, brush your hair, take a shower, get out of bed. Um, and it has more in-depth ones like or journaling, and it has like little questions.
And there's like a little option. What is your mood today?
Mhm.
Journal something
I
about
highly recommend it. Go check it out. It's super cute.
Finch, Finch.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of like got a little gamification thing. So
Yeah,
each
it's really cute.
you personally pick all of the things that you want to check off each
Yeah.
day. So you can make it just one or two things if you're just trying to do one goal.
I know I keep adding
I
things
love
to
adding
mine.
things. There's another one called Coach Me, which I highly recommend. I love, love, love. I
Yeah.
haven't touched that one in forever. It's more,
Adult.
well, yeah, it's not as cutesy. It's just like,
Yeah, Finch is cute. and
straight up
it's,
like just words and check them
yeah.
off and stuff. But you can actually, like, each one of the things has like a group chat in
okay.
it. So all the people who have, drink more water,
Oh, right.
have like you
That
can
same.
chat with everybody, and so
Okay.
everyone shares their tips. So I love Coach Me for that because it's literally like, and there's actually a coach moderator
Oh, that's
in
nice.
it, and it's free. I love that one because, and just like I think in Finch, I can't remember if you can make custom ones or not, but
Yes,
Coach
you
Me you
can.
can. And Coach Me has tons of them, and the customizable ones are shared for everyone. So there's millions of things
Right.
like, reading scripture or watching a movie or going to a movie alone. You name it, it's on there. So, and if it's not, you can just make your own.
Uh-huh.
I think at one point I had like 80 things on there.
Oh, wow.
I literally had like, I was obsessed with it because I just had like every step of the day. And maybe it's like an ADD thing. Like we like to just check off.
OCD and ADD.
Yes, I think that was a
and
little OCD too.
autism and
So and that one, I literally like loved that instant gratification of like achieving those things. And then it actually has like calendars for each of them. So you can see how many times you did it a year.
Yeah.
So I like that one. But on Finch, you get like little gemstones for everything that you.
I think there is a calendar on Finch too, so you can
Okay.
check how often you've done stuff. And
Oh, okay,
You have
okay.
to kind of play
haven't
around
played
with the
around
app
with it
a
as
lot.
much. I've only had it for a little while, but
Yeah, I've had it for about a
It's-
month.
it's really cute though because it's like a bird, and then as you use the app, you get points.
Your
to
bird
purchase.
grows up, and
Yeah,
you
and
have
you get
little
to hatch
micro
little pets. Yeah.
and- yeah.
And you can buy with the points that you get, you can buy clothes and stuff with them and decorate their little birdhouse. So it has things that keep you using it that make it fun. So
And it's totally free
yeah.
if you want.
Yeah, they're both totally free. So you check them both out, see which one you might like. Those are really good if you need something to track your habits that you're stacking.
Or remind you because it does send you notifications.
Yep.
And, yeah.
Yeah. I like your new little morning routine. I've talked about this a while that I've really been struggling the past couple of years because I had like the same schedule at my job for like 10 years.
Right.
And then when COVID hit and then the work from home thing hit, my department kind of merged with the other department, and then I had to share my schedule at work with other people, and it wasn't a like set in stone thing, and I've had like this roller coaster schedule for like 6 years now, and it's gotten better. Now I go to work at like 11:30 one week, and then the next week it's 9:30. So thankfully they're both like morning shifts, but
Sort of.
I know the 11:30 one is wild because it's like almost lunchtime, and I'm a sleeper in kind of person. I've gotten better though. I've been making sure I still get up like at least an hour before I have to go to work instead of like 5 minutes. because work from home is not good for people like me who will just like procrastinate to the last minute.
Right.
So
No
now
comment. No
I know.
comment.
I hope my boss isn't listening. Now she knows me more than I do. So, but I've been enjoying like that couple of hours before my 11:30
I do
shift.
like.
And the past like month or so ago, we moved, like we broke our sectional couch up a little bit, and I moved part of the sectional couch to my craft room. And so now it's like my sofa, my little chair and table kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's like my little room, I don't want to go sit in front of the TV in the morning before work. But I don't want to sit at my desk because I was finding myself getting up like 2 hours before work and sitting at my desk.
Yeah,
And then
that
I'd
feels too
start
much like
working,
work.
and then I forgot to clock in, or I'd start working 2 hours early, or I just wasn't getting anything done, and I wasn't relaxing, and I was also making myself sit in that chair for like 12 hours a day. So,
Right.
this past month I've been sitting before work for like an hour. So it kind of got me back into my miracle morning routine. And I've been doing some journaling on my little couch because I have like this little side table with my little sofa. And sometimes I watch my soaps in the morning. It's been a nice little routine. And I'm still tinkering around with it. It's not like set in stone, but it's become more of a habit of just waking up. Even though I haven't figured out what the purpose of, not the purpose, but what the like routine I want to have.
Right.
But I've been just enjoying it. So I'm still tinkering around with it. But I liked your idea of moving your tracker to the other room because you used to do it in here with your day planner and
I
in your
did.
craft room at your desk, and
Yeah.
now I'm moving it. It doesn't have to be with your other day planner. Like,
No,
I'm so
it
proud
doesn't.
of you for like
I know.
allowing that. That's
I
it's been stacked together with that routine
it has
for like 5
it
years.
has. Now I will tell you that by separating them, then I forget to fill out the trackers over here because I used to do them all at the same time.
Yeah.
So now see, there's a whole week where I haven't filled out. Stuff.
Yeah.
So I've got to find another way
Mm-hmm.
to get me back into this
Oh,
from
at
transition.
nighttime though, because that's like
Well,
the
yeah,
end
I
of the
could do
day
it. I
kind of
could
stuff.
do it at the end of the day. I just need to find a habit to pin it to so that it's consistent. Because that's the thing is I have to consistently be here at a certain time of the day or whatever to do it, and that's where sometimes setting those habits where they're tied together can go wrong because if you get out of your routine, like you go on a trip
Yeah.
or something,
That always happens.
that it throws it off. So you've got to have enough of that stuff stacked together where it, that it still works even if you go somewhere
and then
else
just
or
still
whatever.
remember to get back in that routine as soon as,
You get back, right?
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes like my health tracker, I did start taking it with me. On trips so that I could do it while I was on the trip. I don't take my regular day planner with me though, because it's big and it's bulky. And, if I'm going on a vacation, I don't really need my day planner. But
You
if
still
there's,
want to track your food.
I want to track stuff,
Yeah.
But so sometimes what I will do is take a picture of that page. And then I can go
That's a
in,
good idea.
I can use the Photos app and do markup on it. And check off the things I
That's
did.
brilliant. Mm-hmm.
And then when I get home, I can transfer the information from
If you
the
really
Photos
need
app.
to, yeah.
Yeah, if I really want to make sure that it's marked off in my planner. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's cool.
So
I
it's
like
a
that.
lot easier because you just open up the photo and you use the little markup tool, and you can just use a pen to go check. So.
I like that. So, just to kind of recap, James Clear, Atomic Habits. So, whenever Amber comes back, are we doing that next week or what are we talking about next week?
Oh, next week I think we're doing Anatomy of an Epidemic.
Okay,
again,
so when Amber comes back again, she'll be back for that. But next time when she comes back with her tiny habits,
Yeah.
you can kind of think about the atomic habits and when she explains some of the steps as she dives deeper in.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. So
So here, just notice. So here's your little words if you want to write them down. Okay. Notice. See the next small thing. Return. Take one gentle action. Okay, and that return, that's actually a little word that's popping up in it's like a companion word for my devotion. One little word is returning.
Returning to a habit.
To the thing. Yeah,
right.
going back.
Returning to
returning to the space
action.
or the action. Witness. Observe what happened. So that you pointing out like, oops, I just realized, right? It's not the end of the world. You're witnessing what happened and then
if you understand why, you can find a way around it.
Find a way, right? Repeat. Come back tomorrow.
Okay.
Not finish everything. Not optimize everything.
So not finish or optimize everything.
Yep. Just close that small loop and return.
Okay.
And that's like kind of been this little saying that I kind of like created with my one little word, because that's literally like what my word is this year, is like those atomic habits, like the microscopic habits, devoting like to tinker with those to get them like just right. But I'm not trying to optimize everything, and I'm not trying to finish or complete like the perfect schedule. I'm just trying to go back to it enough to make it a habit.
To make it a habit. Right. And it really is made up of those. It's a lot of tiny little habits that you stack together. So
yeah. And really it's the word atomic, like I don't know why when I first picked up the book I was thinking atomic like blow up, like this is gonna blow what we think your of the atomic bomb.
But really, if you think of atoms, atoms are made of molecules, tiny little molecules that revolve around each other. And when you think of it that way, then you think of these tiny micro habits, like
atomic sized
habits that revolve or are connected to each other to make this molecule, right? So, yeah.
That's it. Yeah. That's the whole thing. Habit stacking, atomic habits.
All right.
Well, I'm looking forward to next week so we can, or is it the last chapters?
I believe, if that's what we're working on, which I hope it is. If not, we'll have something totally different next week.
Surprise! Yeah.
But I think that's what we're working on next week. And I don't have it in front of me. I'm sorry. But that should finish us out for the rest of the book. So
yep, awesome. And then I'm sure Amber will be coming back pretty quickly with the next chapter.
Yeah, I don't know if we've put it on the schedule yet, but
it'll be soon.
It'll be
so
soon.
Stay tuned and we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, and we have some other kind of upcoming topics that also kind of go with those. Things, I can't remember which ones they were, but I think there was some things about how we're spending our time. We're coming into a goal setting.
We're coming into mid-year goal recap and
some of that stuff.
All of that. So, if this is your jam, stay tuned.
Yep.
All right. Yep. Well, thank you so much for joining us again this week, and we appreciate you. Make sure you check us out on modernmusings.net. If you want to hit us up on chat, you can hit us up on MMC Chat on Facebook as well. And thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.